Hello, beautiful souls. Here we are, day 163, and I've titled this one as Moving Through a Portal of Truth. And this is what I am currently moving through, and I think and I feel a lot of other people are also doing the same. I've been on this journey very recently in the last couple of months of true self-responsibility, of being a woman who trusts herself, being a woman who is boundless. And for about the last year or so, with other work that I've been in, my own personal work, that I'm being guided in, I have been asking over and over, show me the truth. I'm ready to let all else die. And this can have its ups and downs, its ins and outs. And it has, in the last week, gotten very, let me just use the word, interesting. I was in a container brought to life by Judy V last week, and it was incredibly potent, speaking to the distortion that we hold, that is held around us, blocking our quote-unquote vision of our true field. The way she placed her words in explaining this resonated with me deeply and helped me to understand, embody, not fully embody yet if I'm being honest, understand, begin the calibration of, with the intention of embodying my own work, my medicine, and then the other work that I'm being guided through, which is deeply metaphysical and all of these things. And I'm feeling called to mention Sinead Cracknell as well. She is a dear friend of mine in Anamcara. She lives here in Galway as well. Her work also holds the same potency, the same frequency, and I'm blessed to have her in my life as somebody that we can laugh together and speak of the distortion together, shall we say. And what I'm about to speak to in this portal of truth that I'm moving through, and on one level I'm already through, I'm just catching up. And it's something that I have realized before, but potentially not had the energetic capacity to do what I am doing now. And that is the collapse of the energetic foundations and the foundations and structure of my business, of this coaching business that I am bringing to life. This became clear for me last week in a very clear way. And just now this evening, bringing myself through a process. The intentional, purposeful decision to collapse those old structures and foundations of Ignited Soul Coaching. Because in its inception, in its creation, the structure and the foundations were built on a need to get away from, were built on, I hope this works, built on so much more that I don't really need to go into. And so the structure, the energetic structure and the energetic foundations of Ignited Soul Coaching, of Ignited Soul Living, have very often felt tight, constricted, heavy, lackful. And the word that's coming to mind now is negative. Meaning that though so much of what I have done inside of this structure, inside of or from these foundations, have been beautiful and stunning and exciting and have helped and guided and moved people and clients. Inside of me, in the one whose responsibility and duty and privilege it is to bring it to life, it has felt all of those things. It has felt heavy. It has felt and has been clouded with shoulds and have tos and needing to show up a certain way and all of the things. And for me to honor the core of what this is and the work that I am choosing to bring to life, that of being an ignited soul, where the frequency of that is potent aliveness, where it's freedom, true power, joy, expansiveness, magnificence, peace. It has been really hard for me to anchor in these frequencies with these old, distorted foundations and structures still being alive, caging in the business. And I'm not collapsing the current structures or now the old structures and foundations of the business to no longer have it, but it's so it can now be rebirthed in the way that my soul is calling me to do that in the way that I am wanting to do that in and be in. And it feels uncomfortable in a way, and it also feels like I am the one running the show with this. And it's the same for your business, the same for all of it. We get to collapse foundations, strategies, structures, identities that do not serve, that were generated in distortion, that were brought to life through limitation, that were at their core potentially falsehoods and untruths. And this is what I'm really beginning to discover what it means even more to live as an ignited soul, to source ourselves through our only identity, and that is the identity of soul. And even the word identity does box it in, but it is a word that we understand. It's a word that our mind, our ego, our human self can anchor in with, so it knows what's going on. For me to do the work that I'm called to do, for me to have the capacity to show up in the way that I want to show up, for me to have the willingness to do the work in the background that is required to be done for this, then this rebirth is necessary. These new frequencies, and they're not even new, but these the frequencies of what it was always meant to be that had been hidden, caged in. These now get to come to life in me, through me, as me, out into this business and out into my influence and impact, and in how I am sharing what it is that I want to say. Me having these lives every day in whatever way that is, creating content, writing, classes, offers, all of that. Because the more I was trying to push things through, micromanage in the way I had been, in this distorted cage of restriction and needing to get away from and all of it, it was just too much, too hard, and too unfulfilling. And that's not why any of us are here. We are not here to be drained. We are not here to force through. We are not here to simply make it happen, whatever it may be. We are here to discover and remember who it is that we are. The ignited soul, the human that gets to be exalted into its rightful place. The one, the woman, the person who gets to live her life, create her life through her own definition, through her own choice, and to be the one that defines herself through soul and source, and to allow the universe to bow in reverence as she is doing so. Now that I am speaking to this in this way, because I haven't wanted to speak to this in the last few days, and I was doing my lives in different places mostly, I feel that the portal, I've popped through the portal. I have spoken it out for whoever sees this, for whoever hears this. A shift has been made, the collapse has happened, and now I move as I am called to. I think that's it. If what I have spoken to here today resonates with you and for you, please let me know below. I'd love to hear from you. If something else in here you think or feel it would resonate with somebody that's in your life, share it with them. I would greatly appreciate that. The potency, the frequency, the truth that is available is what I've been speaking to in this live, and I pray that it reaches you and that it awakens in you even more of your potency, even more of your aliveness, even more of your truth. And I will see you tomorrow.